Just a grab bag of things that we didn't discuss that I think are probably worth mentioning. We'll just go through these pretty quickly. So, other things that you can do that will hurt your application, of course, failing the MCAT or applying without a score. Especially like if you have failed the MCAT and don't have a passing score or don't have a decent score to send the application committee, it's going to be a really, really hard uphill battle to try and get into a medical school. So I would recommend making sure you have a decent score to go forward with before the application season has even begun. Going along with that, having a poor GPA. Now, this is something that if you're watching this, you probably don't have much time to change. But again, it's going to be more difficult if you let your grades slide a bit. That just goes without saying. So another thing is failing to shadow in primary care. And this might be different school to school, but I know the University of Utah places a large emphasis on primary care. And a lot of times, the shadowing experiences of individual applicants would include, oh, I shadowed this orthopedic surgeon, and I shadowed my uncle, who's a cardiologist, and all of their shadowing came from one source, and it wasn't primary care. And it was, kind of a big ding because primary care is the bread and butter of medicine, and we want to make good primary care doctors. We're not out here to, breed another generation of orthopedic surgeons necessarily. We want to have people who know the basics. We want people who understand what it's like to be in a clinic, to be in the setting of what you're going to be doing as a physician. And primary care is just kind of the 4-brick Lego of that foundation. So the next one we kind of mentioned in the last video, but listing shadowing as a formative experience, it highlights the doctor's abilities and not your own. Make sure you focus on activities where you had the creative input and you were able to put your own spin on things. Now, you can definitely include shadowing as one of your 15 experiences, but I would avoid putting it as multiple experiences unless it makes sense in your individual situation to do so. And I would definitely avoid having it as one of your most meaningful experiences in that category of 3, like we discussed earlier. This next one is a little bit Utah-centric, but I feel like it came up a lot in some of the seminars I've taught. Using your LDS mission as your main tentpole experience. And missions are so wonderful. People learn so much from them, and it really does change their lives. I went on a mission, and it was one of the greatest, most difficult, challenging, crazy experiences I've ever had in my life. But again, it was a formative experience, not necessarily a defining one. And especially at the University of Utah, where, maybe 50%, and I might be exaggerating here, but maybe 50% of the applicants talk about their mission in their personal statement. They all kind of start to run together. It's not a unique experience. And definitely include it in your experiences, but don't make it the thing that everything hinges on, because it just doesn't lead to, diversity, and it doesn't necessarily show what you yourself are capable of. This is the same kind of concept with using a short medical immersion trip, such as going to, like I had one that was really great. I went to the Dominican Republic. It was an awesome experience. I definitely included it in my experiences. But again, it was something that was formative, but not a defining experience, where I showed up and I participated and it had an impact on me, but it wasn't me making a huge impact on the world at large, if that makes any sense. So just be careful what you use as like your main experiences. So just to wrap things up, this is one of the hardest processes that you're ever going to go through. You're going to be pushed to your limits emotionally, and it is going to be difficult. But I believe in you. I know how hard that you have worked. I know firsthand exactly what you're going through right now. You are an inspiration to me You are an inspiration to those around you. You are qualified, and you have the opportunity right now to take it. So make your dreams come true. Get into medical school. Message me and tell me all about it. Just don't blow it on the home stretch. So many people spend years accruing the experience, the grades, the MCAT scores, the everything, and the know-how to get into medical school, but they get lazy about their application. They submit late. They don't take the time to proofread it properly. They don't take the time to really put the work in that you need to right now. It's crunch time. You are going to do amazing, but make sure you don't slow down now. Thanks so much for listening to me. I hope that you have a really good application season. I am going to give Rita my information to pass on to you. Unfortunately, I don't really have the time to personally edit personal statements and experiences and that sort of thing this year just because of residency. But I would definitely be open if you want to spend 15 minutes, a half an hour just talking about your application and going over some of the points with me. I think that would be great. So I'll pass on my information so that we could set up Zoom meetings or whatever we need to do with that. I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and I will sign off for now.